Another thought just occurred to me as I was saving this video. I'm not sure if I should put this at the beginning because the rest of the video might not make sense. Or this might not make sense until you get to the beginning of what I started. I'm going to put it at the beginning. So just understand this is an afterthought. And this may be a likely scenario. If Judge Oberg was assigned or hired and assigned to my case specifically as she knew that her job was to dismiss my case for the church. But then I caught them and I exposed them. The church might be working out a deal with Judge Oberg to allow her to not commit treason, but allow, seriously? I forgot you were even loading still. That she is to give the church time. Now this also is a crime to do this, because it's like the senators knowing that the coronavirus is going to be a big deal, so they withdraw their stocks before coronavirus hits, and then, they still got busted. And then the feds said, all you who have supported Trump, you're off the hook. Burr, you're not off the hook. You went against Trump and said that the Russians were hacking our election in 2016. So Burr's still busted. And so that's a type of scenario I see here as a likely possibility. That first thing Monday, Judge Oberg finds out about it. And the church lawyers contact the church leaders, their client, and say, oh crap, how do we fix this? How do we arrange this? Well, we got Wattups in there, contact him and see what we can figure out. And thus, they are given this week period for everybody to figure out what to do, and then decided, okay, Judge Oberg, you're going to order on behalf of Travis, but you need to give us time to pull out all our investments, transfer them to a non-extradition bank, and allow us to flee Friday morning, right before you give the order. And then we'll allow you to do your job, because he caught us. I can see that as a likely possibility. And that's horrifying to have to think that that's a likely possibility, probability. But that's what came to my mind. Because she's always responded immediately until now. I'm her only case. She has no reason to delay this long, other than allowing the church time to pull out all their investments and make preparations to flee the country. Because you have to get flight arrangements and all that stuff. And they're going to have to flee before the order comes down. And the traditional practice is for the church leaders to have their meeting on Thursday and then give out assignments to where to travel to, which was traditional before coronavirus. Governor Herbert disappeared the Salt Lake Airport director. Remember him? Yeah, we've not heard from him ever since. He's not been to court for his bail hearing. He's not been to court to be assigned a defense attorney. He just got arrested, was booked, and he disappeared. I know exactly what happened to him in the Salt Lake County Jail. When I saw that that's where he was put, I know exactly what happened to him. That's what this lawsuit is about, because that's what they did to me. They had me disappeared. He's in isolation. And according to the rules and laws of Utah, if you're in isolation, you have no rights. They can keep you there as long as they want. I got out because I faked a toothache. He apparently is not that smart. Or they caught on because of me. But yeah, the airports are open, and so the church leaders can leave the country. The President Nelson has a private jet. 15 prophets should fit on there, shouldn't it? Is it a smaller jet than I'm thinking of? But I don't know, maybe he needs to put his stuff on there too. His luggage and furniture. I mean, if you're taking trillions of dollars with you, you don't need your furniture. You can leave them here. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants his family with him. Because the family is going to be kind of shocked. Everybody's families are going to be kind of shocked. So, yeah, that's the additional information, and I'm going to put this at the beginning. So, there is stuff in the rest of the show. You don't have to, or video, you don't have to leave just because you saw this part. And YouTube's already throttling me more than they've normally throttled me. So there's only 2 of you watching now, literally. Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Back in March, when the stock markets tanked, I was telling you guys that all they were doing was transferring investments from other investments that were not coronavirus friendly, selling all that off and going towards coronavirus friendly investments. And that's what they've been doing, building it back up on the stock market in the Dow. And so what happened today, with almost 2,000 points dropped, which is almost $4 trillion in investments, is a panic. Someone panicked. And it has nothing to do with coronavirus going away or coronavirus sticking around. Because everybody's investing in coronavirus-friendly investments. They want it to continue. That's what nobody is telling you, is that the businesses that are making the profit right now on the stock market want coronavirus to continue. This is why Trump is purposely escalating coronavirus and provoking people to get into groups. That's why he's having the protests stoked. And now he's wanting to hold rallies. He wants coronavirus to increase so that the investments in the coronavirus companies will go up and up and up and up. And so even with the drop, we're still above 25,000 on the Dow. And so the Dow is still in excellent shape. And so what was it that freaked out someone or something on the stock market? And it wasn't the Federal Reserve Chairman coming out. It wasn't the reports of coronavirus going up again. That's good news for investors. They're not investing in sports and entertainment anymore. And so they don't want the stocks to drop. They don't want to sell their stocks yet. There's no end in sight to this coronavirus, so they're just going to ride it on out, because it's going to keep on going up. So something else happened, and they're not telling us, or at least I haven't found the person who's actually identifying which companies lost. When I can find that, we'll have a better answer, or clearer answer, as to what happened. And so, as I'm saying, my lawsuit against the church is likely to be resolved tomorrow. And like I've told you, the judge has been silenced, the clerks are now obedient, the church has been silenced. They finally posted something on after the fact on the 8th. They didn't have it there yesterday or the day before. Now all of a sudden today, oh yeah, we have something on the 8th. But it's not the church leaders. Something else dealing with assistance given to the Philippines. And then again, you've got to ask yourself, why is the church helping everybody else in the world now but us here in Utah and in America? What are they doing? Why aren't they helping us? And so, let's check the Philippines. Do they have an non-extradition order? Because that could be an interesting coincidence. Come on. Slow. Is the Philippines a non-extradition country? At present, the Philippines has extradition treaties with Australia, Canada, the federal states of Micronesia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, blah, 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 the United States of America. Okay. Extradition and legal assistance. So that's shot out of the water immediately. Countries with no extradition treaty with U.S. So, interesting. Okay. Afghanistan, Algeria, Andorra, Angola, Armenia, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Belarus, Bosnia, and Herzegovina, Brunei, Burkina Faso, Burma, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon. Let me copy and paste this, because I went over this the last time that the church may have been selling off their properties in lieu of a verdict against them with Judge First. I was recognizing this among other things that the church was doing during that time. United Arab Emirates, the church has a deal with them. Interesting. The Vatican, church has a thing with them since the Rome Temple. Kuwait, the church has just been recognized in Kuwait at the beginning of the year. Huh? Okay. And then we'll save it. No, not that file. Huh. Okay. Go away. So yeah, this is what you're looking for if it's going, this is what you do with a theory test. If the church tomorrow is on vacation to minister in one of these non-extradition countries, then yeah, you'll understand why and what happened. But tomorrow is also when the order will come out. The church will be notified first before me, and that's gonna suck for me. because the clerks will notify the defense counsel, and the defense counsel will notify the church. So if today's panic is because of the church selling their stock in preparation to flee, like they did the last time, but then the judge didn't do anything, so the church then reinvested it in coronavirus-friendly stocks. And so they would be stupid if they didn't. That's what everybody was doing. You need to do that also so that you can join the wave of money making. I mean, there are trillions of dollars with the church. And so they would be dumb to do otherwise. And so is it Gaddy versus COP? They've got a case. Unfortunately, no. Kay Birmingham has not replied to the church's motion to dismiss. She has until tomorrow, so it's likely she's going to file tomorrow. And it's concerning that she took till the full 14 days. Technically, she has until Monday, so she might wait out the weekend, but why, Kay? You've never waited this long. You've already planned ahead and knew what was coming. I don't know why she's waiting this long. She has till Monday at midnight. Which is Tuesday, but 11:59 on Monday. And so after she files, then the judge then will take his time in deciding the case. And he took several weeks to decide last time, and finally came out and said, motion to dismiss is granted without prejudice. That's why Kay was able to file again. And so again, she's got to refile a reply, and then it's going to take several weeks. So that case is not what the church is concerned about. And besides, her case is for a set sum of money for all those who have left the church, having signed their names, I want out, because of the lies that the church has told. And so the church will still continue to exist through Kay Birmingham's case. They'll just have to pay a huge fine, is what it'll be. But everybody will get their little sum of money from the church. But it won't stop the church. Church will continue. Is that shadowing? It is. Huh. The church will still continue if Kay Birmingham wins. My case, however, they will not exist if I win. They are supposed to be arrested and filed in the criminal court, federal courts, for capital crimes. And my case is the only one that the church would be scared of. There's nothing else for them to be scared of. If people decide that, hey, this satanic symbols and the Confederate symbols down in southern Utah, we want those torn down. And church, they'll say, hey, these are religious symbols that have no relation to Lucifer. You guys need to stop your hate. They'll pull that kind of stunt. So that's not going to chase them out of the country and sell their stocks to a non-extradition country and have an offshore bank account to transfer everything in. And so, like I said, if this is the church panicking, because that's the only thing I can see. There's nothing else in the news to cause a panic. I mean, there's nothing regarding the protesting destruction of property that would cause a panic. They would have done that way back when they first started the looting and the destruction. And so that's not it either. And so, yeah, this is the only thing I can see that would cause this collapse for today. And we'll see if that is the case. If Judge Oberg does nothing and still waits and waits and waits, if Judge Oberg doesn't side with me and says, you know what, screw Travis, I want to keep my job, you know, what's he going to do? He can't get me on treason, you know, then the church, you know, isn't going to worry about anything. But like I said before, when Judge First was supposed to do something, the church was doing a whole bunch of stuff. This time, they've been silent. And now all of a sudden today, we've got a drop on the stock market. And like I said, only my case is a threat to them. An imminent threat. Because we're expecting Judge Oberg to decide tomorrow. And if the church loses, I get to claim all the money. If they are withdrawing all the money and transferring it into an offshore bank account in a non-extradition country, then they give me the middle finger so I don't get the money. And then if the feds are ordered by Judge Oberg, as she's supposed to do, and order their bench warrant arrest for a criminal prosecution, then we would also expect to see them flee the country to a non-extradition country to enjoy their non-extradition bank account funds of trillions of dollars, as Mormons will be abandoned. And they'll wonder why. What happened? Because YouTube is throttling and shadow banning, I guess is the technical term, my channel, so that nobody really knows what's going on. And the news will report it here locally. We don't know what happened. All of a sudden the church pulled out. Deseret News no longer in business because the church has abandoned them. And so the Salt Lake Tribune, I think, is owned by the church also. I'm not sure if the Salt Lake Tribune would collapse or if they would be able to carry on. I'm not sure what the contract was for that. But you're going to have local press on other TV stations, except for the KUTV, which is owned and operated by the church. So no SNL here in Utah, unless you get cable. Well, even then, you'd have to have a cable with some other state's NBC to see it in the fall, if they come back in the fall, because coronavirus is expected to get worse. So you're going to see a huge economic collapse here in Utah with the church gone. And so, yeah, that's going to be weird if Judge Oberg does actually do the right thing and sides with me, and then issues a bench warrant for the church. Wow. But yeah, I was concerned about why June they were coming out and saying, hey, we're having a viral conference in October again. In June? Don't you do it 4 months in advance? Not 5? Isn't things getting better? They're already planning coronavirus to be worse by October, not improved. And so that should tell you something. The church opened, and yet here they are saying not conference. Yeah. I'm not sure if it was a dream or if I saw it in my morning run that the notification that the church is closed on the state temple doors was taken off. I think it was a dream, but I can't remember. I'll have to check again tomorrow morning and see if I remember. They're doing some piping along the road here, and so I've had to run out into the street to avoid the sidewalk closures that they've been doing. Yeah, I can't remember if it was a dream or if I saw it as I was running in the mornings. So, but I hope he didn't take it down, President Hall. Leave it up. Don't open. Don't fall for it. So, yeah, it's not Getty. It's not coronavirus fears. It's not the Fed. You know, if it was the Fed, there wouldn't be a massive sell-off in retaliation. We would have seen, 600 maybe loss, but not 2,000. So, yeah, we need to wait and find out, because nothing is on the docket for today either, before noon. I'll still check in the morning, just in case she does it today. But the fact that this happened today, pay attention if you're going to be going to the airports, or if you know where they live and you see them in the mornings as they leave to go to wherever they go, now that Temple Square is closed. They were supposed to have their meeting today. That's when they normally have it, is on Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the upper room of the Salt Lake Temple. The temple is closed for the earthquaking proofing that's going on. And so I don't know if they're using the administration building or if that's also closed now too and they have to go somewhere else. Maybe the lawyers' offices? Maybe somebody's house? I don't know. So they had a meeting today, and it appears that if they were the ones involved with this massive sell-off, it was before their meeting, because that's when it started falling, was first thing in the morning. And so yeah, they would have been notified ahead of time. But for them to wait until Thursday is interesting, because their lawyers would have known on Monday, on the 8th, and they didn't do it until today. So that is interessante. But yeah, the church should not feel comfortable thinking that the federal courts are fully in their pocket, because the federal judges are now faced with a dilemma. Do they betray their oath of office to do the church a favor, or do they recognize that, hey, yeah, this is serious crimes that are being reported here. We need to stop this. And the clerks have confessed by their changing the way they do things, and the lawyers for the church have confessed because they didn't argue my counts. 46 counts. They were supposed to argue each and every single one. So there were supposed to be 46 replies. They chose not to do it, claiming that the whole thing was just frivolous. It doesn't make any sense. And it involves other people. Yes, because it's a RICO conspiracy case, dummies. They were purposely delaying, knowing this. So they've got no case to defend the church. And 3 strikes, as I said, they were in default. And the judge knows it, they know it, I know it. They lost. It's over. We just have to wait for the judge to do the right thing and give the order. But is she going to betray her country? I exposed that the church symbolism at Temple Square show clearly for all who know the symbolism that the church owns the government. So we'll see. Judge First chose to save her life. Will Judge Oberg risk losing her brand new job and her life? Because she too is under great concern for her life. But again, if the church all flees and abandons everybody, we're all going to be safe, because Mormons are going to be crushed as to their leaders abandoning them. There will be a lot of Mormons who will be like Warren Jeff's membership, who thought that they were being persecuted. Why can't we steal SNAP funds? Our president speaks for God. If he says to steal, we steal. He says to have polygamy with 14-year-old girls, we have polygamy with 14-year-old girls. See, Mormons look at that and go, oh, they're evil, they're not the true church. Our church would never commit crime, never go back to polygamy. In April 8, 2024, on that conference weekend, as the temple text was changed with the law of chastity, to no longer be legally and lawfully, but according to the law of God. What is the law of God in the scriptures, Mormons, for marriage? Oh yeah, that section 132, polygamy, 10 virgins. Like I said, they're preparing for it. You think that the FLDS Church are wrong? Well, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will be doing exactly the same thing and worse. They're already doing worse. My lawsuit points out a number of violations that were committed against me. Bigamy was 2 of them. Because like I keep telling you, the woman formerly called my second wife, the woman formerly called my first wife. I know all about the bigamy that the church has forced me into. So, yeah, I just don't know until somebody does the right thing in the courthouse. But, if that's what it is, that the church has withdrawn their money from the stock market, even if I contact the collections agency that I've already been in contact with, and they said, yeah, when you get the order, let us know. And if I see it Saturday morning after midnight, I'll have to purchase an account on Pace Monitor and then download it, or get a free account and download it for $5. They said, well, we just need the judge's order and we'll get right to work. And so, I don't know if Saturday would be enough time because the stock market's closed, but if they already withdrew all the money from the stock market, they'd have to then go after the other companies that I listed. But again, if they're pulling it out from the stock market, they may also be pulling it out of all their investment companies, or they've got everybody on the finger on the button on their computer that when the call comes in, transfer it to the non-extradition country bank. Click! And we know it's not Deutsche Bank anymore. Because they got busted on that one, I hope. I exposed them for it when the Business Insider published a list of investments in the portfolio of $40 billion by Enzyme Peak Associates. I saw Deutsche Bank. But I made sure to point it out in the list of assets of the church that need to be seized and confiscated by me in the collections. So, alrighty, 30 minutes. Yeah, YouTube also is playing a part now this week, especially throttling and shadow banning my videos more than normal. Normally I would get about 30 a day. I'm struggling to get over 10. So yeah, YouTube has done some adjustments on their analytical program to shadow ban me specifically, because there's no reason why I shouldn't be getting as much visual attention as other LDS critics. I mean, I was getting it on the other YouTube channel that I was getting. 25,000, 26,000 I think now for the one video, and others were getting up there as well. My website was kicking butt. I got Trump to say oranges on national TV. I rock! And I exposed Nelson on both YouTube and my website. But the church shut them both down. Oaks gave the Heil Hitler salute to the Aaronic priesthood in that conference. I went, holy crap, he just did that! I went, did a section out of the thing, and as fast as I could, got it posted. Next morning in Sunday session of conference, he does this type of crap. So, well, I've been warning you guys. I grew up in the church, and they betrayed me too. And Mormons are just full of hate. Hate. So hopefully the distraction of them abandoning Mormons will take the heat off of me for once. YouTube will abandon the church because they're no longer investing in YouTube. And then Google. And then Microsoft. And so, yeah, they'll be resentful and welcome people slamming the church. So I'll thrive after Friday. But it's going to be a Friday night news dump, as the church may even get away with it for the whole weekend. They may not be known until Monday. And even then, nobody might know, other than people saying, hey, I just got laid off at the Deseret News. The Deseret News is no longer in business. Hey, the KUTV, is that Channel 5? Or, yeah, KUTV. It's no longer in business in Utah. What's going on? And then people will do their research and find out, hey, the church just abandoned the church. And so, yeah, Monday. Maybe over the weekend, I don't know. But, I'm just going to be sitting here going, yeah, me, hello, I'm right here, I've been here the whole time. You want to talk to me? Hello? Anybody there? So, alrighty. The waiting, the purposeful delays to obstruct justice. So frustrating.